Hey everyone, welcome back to Magically Unstable. I'm Kurt.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are here to talk about Disney.
And our anxiety.
And that's why we're magically unstable.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's do that one more time.
Or we can just keep that whole thing.
Oh my God, that made me lightheaded. Oh my God.
I'm Kurt.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are here to talk about Disney.
And our anxiety.
And that's why we're
magically unstable.
Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 15 of Magically Unstable. I'm Kurt.
I'm Nick.
Oh my God, I'm Nicole.
Oh my God,
chat.
you are. We are Magically Unstable.
Oh my God, you're right.
Let's get started with our weekly touch base.
Yeah, let's do that.
Nick, how was your week?
I mean, like, it's all right. It's been a busy week for you, girl. Been working a lot. Been working a lot for Foreverland, for my other job, for Mike from the Park Prodigy shout out. It's been fine. I've got a bag of cheese curds sitting next to me. I've got no strings to hold me back or hold me down. Okay, so I watched Pinocchio last night, and that movie is so fucked up. Like, if you guys have seen Pinocchio, if you haven't, first of all, go fucking watch it. But if you have, like, can we all agree that that is a movie straight up for pedophiles? Like, it was literally made for pedophiles.
Yes, I will agree to that.
Pedophiles and nightmares.
Literally. But anyway, I now have the I've Got No Strings songs. What? I've got no strings song stuck in my head because it actually slaps. It's a good song.
It's my favorite when it's in Avengers Age of Ultron and Ultron is singing it and it's so fucking creepy.
Fuck, I forgot about that. But yeah, no, we are good in Central Florida, I guess. Nicole, how was your week?
You know, my week has been really busy, but overall, it's been not a bad week. Round of a fucking applause. It has not been that bad of a week. I bring my cousin to the airport tomorrow. As we're recording this, it'll be the 10th that I bring her. So it was nice to be able to visit with her. We're both vaccinated and thriving. Maybe. Wait. Yeah, same. Yeah. It's been pretty good. Kurt, how's your week?
My week was good. I don't really remember it. It went by really fast. Yeah, I can't tell you one thing I did this week.
You went to San Diego yesterday.
Yeah, I went to San Diego.
Yeah, you did
that was
too.
fine. Oh yeah, I went to Universal. Yeah, I'll talk about that later in this episode. Can't wait for that. Yeah, it was good. It was a good week. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers listening, if there are any. But it was good. It was nice. Spent the day hanging out with some friends today and just being outside with other vaccinated people. It was nice.
Yay! Yay!
Yeah. Let's head into our housekeeping.
I didn't start in with a song, and I was about to do no strings again. I don't think I could do it to housekeeping.
No, you can absolutely do it. There's no rules.
It's housekeeping. We're at housekeeping. Anyway, hey everyone. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. This is our section where we do our housekeeping, where we talk about everything new that's Disney. So let's go ahead and start with Disneyland. Kurt, what do you got going on?
Yeah, I was about to point to me because there's nothing happening. Like, once Disneyland opened, they're like, okay, we're done. That's as much news as you're going to get from here. The only thing I have is some pretty small stuff. Paradise Pier Hotel, which is the last Disneyland resort to open on property, is opening up on June 15th. And what was the other thing? See, it's so, like, minuscule. They are extending their reservation system. So every day, as of like 5 days ago, every day that passes, another day in July opens. So they're keeping it like 30 days out, give or take. And the hours, another thing that I just thought of, the hours at Disneyland and DCA are changing as of Friday. So right now their operating hours are 9 to 6 for both parks. And as of Friday, they will both be 9 to 9.
Wow.
So we get 3 extra hours of magic.
Amazing.
That's about it. I mean, like I said, there's not really anything going on over here on the West Coast.
I mean, there's really no reason for it. Like, Disneyland reopened, and what can be more exciting than that? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's great.
Maybe
That's
some fucking
good.
annual passes.
That's never going to happen. Just like Disney World's never going to bring theirs back. Nice. Great to hear. Nicole, what do you got going on?
Yeah, hello. So do you remember a few episodes ago when I said that the Festival of the Lion King was coming back and it was projected like May-ish? Well, they debuted the first showing this past week. And then
They sure did.
I found a blog article stating what somebody who had attended was able to experience and what changed, and I was pleasantly surprised. I won't share everything, just to keep some of it a surprise.
Were we correct? Is it just the Lion King trailer?
Yes.
and somebody holds a stuffed Simba over a balcony
No,
and
not even
yeets
that.
it off
Not
the top
even that.
balcony.
No, so the show is playing as normal. The only 2 significant changes to it are that when the birds do their Can We Feel the Love Tonight song, and they hook one of them to the cord to the wire, that's no longer happening right now. So it's just the floor show, and then the tumbler monkeys, because there's no way to socially distance them. However, everything else is happening like normal. Like the fire dancers are still happening. The performers are not masked, which is interesting to me. But they all are physically distanced. So yeah, I sought that out and found that really exciting. And it's going to be less people in the theater. I mean, obviously because you had to fit a shit ton of people in there, but it looked like it was seating like maybe 50 people. Maybe between the 4 sections.
Are you excited?
I literally can't contain my excitement. I will be so disappointed if we don't see it.
If you guys go back to our YouTube channel and go back to videos like our first like 40 videos, we have an intro, and the images of Nicole crying are at Festival of the Lion King.
It was my first showing of Festival of the Lion King, so you get to see that raw reaction. It's worth it.
It was so good. It was such a good day.
I can't wait to watch it. I'm excited to watch it with you.
Oh, I'm so elated to just watch it in general. But yeah, that's...
Can we watch it and then go on Dinosaur?
I'm sorry.
Can we watch it and then go on Dinosaur? Like, I want to see you at your high of your high, and then like immediately at the low of your low.
You want to really just heighten my mental health and then tank it immediately.
Yeah.
Could be therapeutic. It could be therapeutic.
You know what?
You know what maybe it would reset your vertigo.
No, that my vertigo is okay right now. I don't think it would reset my vertigo because there's no G-force happening. So therefore, my doctor would disagree.
Park hop, go to Epcot.
No.
Jesus.
Fuck that. Nick, what do you have for the good old Disney World? I'm sorry if I stole yours.
You did not. I mean, it was on the long list of things that I could have talked about today, because Disney World just like woke up this week and they were like, "Oh, we're going to do a whole bunch of shit and just like not give a fuck."
Love that.
So, Nicole, that was in my like top 3 things if I was going to mention things quickly. So I'm glad that you brought it up, because now I can elaborate a little bit more. If you didn't see, Disney World is ending temperature checks completely, which is, did we talk about this last week?
Yes.
Yeah, fucking jokes on us because we were like, oh, we think we're gonna keep them.
Oh, so
3
we
days later,
okay,
they were
right.
like, no.
I was like, we talked about this last week, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't about them ending them. But that's happening, which honestly, like, whatever. As you guys all know, we're all very, very big believers in science and that COVID is real and everything. But if you like look at the big picture of like COVID, probably like one of the most like inefficient ways of trying to keep COVID under control was the temperature checks. Like obviously there's social distancing, the mask requirements. That is all way more important to me personally as like a Disney goer than the temp checks. Just because like if someone does have COVID and has a fever, like you can literally just pop ibuprofen and not have a fever.
I also I said this when I was at your house the other week. I don't understand how the threshold was 100.4. Like when I had 100.4 degree fever, I was out of my mind. Like I don't understand. Like I was not able or mentally stable to go to a theme park in that state. Like I feel like if there was like a threshold, it should have been like 99 degrees.
Sure.
Not over 100.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. It's very strange to me. I know technically like COVID's fever is like a high fever, but like I think anyone with a fever, like
Stay the fuck
COVID or
home.
not, right? Like you probably shouldn't be in a theme park.
Yeah.
But I don't want to elaborate too much on this because this is not the exciting thing, but that was like a big change. So if you're going to Disney like in the near future, you're probably not going to have a temperature check anymore. The other huge thing that I'm like, don't know if I'm excited about is Mickey's Not So Scary Party is not coming back this year, but it is getting replaced by something. We don't really know if it's temporary or a permanent like replacement. I personally feel like it's temporary, but it is called Disney's After Hours Boo Bash. And
Boo bitch.
yeah, literally. To me, like,
sorry.
You shut the fuck up.
Plugging Nigel Bach.
Shut up, Nicole.
We're always plugging Nigel Bach.
You're all the best.
Did I say pegging? I meant plugging. Well, poor Nigel. Anyway, I really don't see like that much of a difference other than I guess it doesn't run as long as like Mickey's Not So Scary would run. Like I think timing wise and like calendar wise. So starting August 10th through October 31st, there are going to be select nights where you can buy these extra themed tickets to go to Disney's After Hours Boo Bash.
August,
yeah, that's normal
like
for
fall,
Mickey's Not So Scary too.
I feel like that's so early.
Yeah, they start in August, and the only thing with Mickey's though, it goes until November, like the first week of November.
I thought they started in September.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it starts in August. It might be late August, but I
have no idea. I just feel like that's really early.
It is really early. It's like,
but you know what? Food
really
and wine
early.
this year is like 7 months. So who the fuck knows?
Who cares? Yes. So this will have cavalcades, not parades. You know what? Although by August, not everyone will be up to like 80% vaccinated. And I'm pretty sure they don't want to change like what the event is going to be halfway through. So I guess that does make sense. So there's going to be cavalcades, characters, which I'm sure you're not going to be able to take like close pictures with the characters by then. If they're still having cavalcades, the cadaver dans will be there. There'll be lighting, music. There will be trick-or-treating. Still no word on fireworks and still no word on like those big shows. They do say special performances, but we don't quite know what they're going to be. And that's it. That is it.
It sounds very similar. So I've never been to Not So Scary, but it sounds very similar to California Adventures, the Oogie Boogie Bash that they have here. it sounds very, very similar. Like they have characters at a distance, like, which was really cool. They have like a whole bunch of different villains like up on stages that are decorated like for their movie, which is really interesting. And like you just walk past them, and they give like little interactions with you. And this was pre-COVID.
Interesting.
So they had, and that was really, really cool. They have like lighting and smoke, like around the characters. It was very interesting. And they had like trick-or-treating spots. They had like special lighting things that happened on Carthay Circle restaurant. It sounds very, very similar.
That's interesting to know, because while this does sound like Mickey's, it also kind of doesn't, in the way that like we've both, Nicole and I have been to Mickey's, and like it's so fucking disorganized and chaotic. Like there's so many character meet and greets that you have to try and run around and get with 3 hours. And those are like actual like picture photo pass characters. There's so much shit going on that like it's hard, because we could only meet, I think, didn't we only meet Moana during Mickey's because the lines are super long?
Well, they only give you like, they had Moana out in very small increments. So like they took her and like gave her like a 15-minute break, which good on you, Disney, but I feel like their breaks were more frequent, and because they're special characters, you really only have the time to meet one if you want to do the trick-or-treating, if you want to do the dance party, if you want to do yeah,
it was really difficult. So like I really liked getting our pictures with Moana, but I also will like if they have these like, okay, quick, like snap a selfie if you want one and walk the fuck away.
Right.
Yeah, like we couldn't even take pictures with them. Like we could take pictures and I have like pictures and videos of the characters. They had, I think they had Governor Radcliffe and the guy from Hunchback. I don't remember his name right now. They had them, those two that you could like meet, and there was a PhotoPass person, and then Mickey and Minnie had a PhotoPass person, but that was it. The rest of them were all in these like trick-or-treat trails where like you would like walk through this pathway, and then you would go past the villain characters on the stage, and then at the end of that pathway there would be like a candy station.
That's nice.
Interesting.
I feel like there weren't villains like at all in Mickey's. Like they were on the stage shows.
Yeah.
But
they
like
did the
that's
stage
it.
show, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
we
may have been
had
some,
it was really
but-
cool. We had Maleficent, the Evil Queen. I think the Mad Hatter was out, which I don't know why he was classified as a villain. Dr. Facilier had a stage. Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah, I think the only prominent people that they had walking around that we really saw a lot of were the monsters from Monsters, Inc. But we were also over in that area doing the dance party because we had a 2-year-old with us. So she dug the dance party. So, but I can't imagine that they would have many other people just walking around.
Yeah,
because they had the monsters physically dancing. So
I guess we'll fucking find out, because my creepy, spooky ass is gonna be running there. So
Yeah, and you know what? At least they're having something, whereas last year they just had the cavalcades.
yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, which I also kind of like cavalcades more than parades.
I like cavalcades because they're fucking shorter than parades.
Yeah.
And you don't have fucking Karen trying to elbow you to get a goddamn spot on Main Street. Like,
yeah, it's nice.
I mean, you do, just less frequently.
well, they don't know when they're coming. Well, I actually liked
That's
it
fair.
before people knew what the loud music meant. That was my favorite. Like the first 3 months of the pandemic, nobody knew why the music got louder, and I would be like, a fucking parade's coming. Yeah.
Nice.
That's,
Good news.
Yeah, it is good news. It's exciting.
Great.
But
All right,
that's all.
Nice. Let's head into our first break, and then we will come back and talk about this week's video.
All right, everyone, now that we're stopped, let's take a minute to shout out to our socials.
Since you've made it this far, maybe subscribe to our podcast. You can subscribe wherever you're listening, like Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or whatever you're listening on right now.
You can also follow us over on Instagram and TikTok at Foreverland Fairy Tales.
And most importantly, if you want more Disney content or if you want to listen to our podcast on YouTube, make sure you find us there. We're at Foreverland Fairy Tales, and just remember to subscribe.
All right, let's get back to the episode. Alrighty, welcome back. Let's dive right into this week's YouTube video, which was the best places to have anxiety at a Disney park, which is something that we've been really, really looking forward to releasing. And we've talked about this on the podcast before that we were going to have this out. So it is out. It is in the world. Our top picks for Disney World and Disneyland to go if you are stressed out, if you're having really bad anxiety, if you're close to an anxiety attack, a panic attack, if you just need a little bit of space to breathe, we have compiled a list for you on our favorite spaces to go to have a breather. So, Nick, you put this one together for the world. So how about you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yay. Yeah, so I truly feel like this is like the first YouTube video that we've released that has really like been in the realm of why we kind of started Foreverland. And all three of us like have had issues going to the theme parks, feeling overwhelmed, feeling anxious, having those moments. I feel like people even without anxiety can have these moments, but when you do have anxiety, like imagine those small moments, amplify that by like 30 and make it constant. So I think this was all really important to the three of us to finally get out content that we've kind of wanted to get out for a really, really long time. So let's go ahead and talk about some of these awesome spots. And I'm going to start with what I will argue to be the most stressful theme park out of all of them, including Disneyland, to me is Magic Kingdom. It could rival, Universal Studios could rival it, but we'll get to that later.
That's its own fucking
it's its
beast.
own category. But let's go ahead and start in Magic Kingdom. So shocking to me, this park had by far the most of these like little spots and places to go out of any of the other parks. So I'm only going to highlight a couple of them because you guys don't want to be here all day listening, or maybe you do. But either way, if you do, that's what the YouTube video is for. So head over there. But I'm going to talk about Tom Sawyer's Island, which is literally like a diamond in the rough. And I'm so happy that Michael and I, like Kurt always talked about this Tom Sawyer's Island. It was like this mystical place that I legit was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, I know it's there. I just don't know what the fuck it is. So if you are in Magic Kingdom heading toward what? Why are you guys laughing?
Because Kurt is air humping
Did
on
you
the chair.
not see that entire thing? As soon as
No.
you said
He
was,
Tom,
like,
Sawyer,
twerking his
Tom Sawyer's
ass.
Island, I was like, yeah. And then I put my legs up here. I'm like, yeah.
No.
Bringing it
I
back.
fucking
someone
love Tom
screenshot
Sawyer's
that.
Island.
Okay, well, maybe Kurt, you should have told this one because you clearly have a fucking hard-on for Tom Sawyer's
It's
Island.
such a good spot, dude.
It is good, and let me tell you why. So, like myself, a lot of people don't realize that, like, this is a thing, and that it's not just, like, a ride that you pop on and, like, leave. It's, like, a whole, like, exploration trail thing. So, in Frontierland, I don't fucking know if that river is Rivers of Liberty or whatever the fuck it's called in Magic Kingdom too. Rivers of America or whatever.
I think it might be the same.
I don't think they're creative enough to come up with a different name. But right by Rivers of America, you can, is that what it's called? Wait, so you didn't tell me if it was Rivers of Liberty or Rivers of America.
I think it's Rivers of America. Hang on, let me look.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's Rivers of America.
Great. All right. So right on Rivers of America, there are these like weird ass like floating rafts, but they're not really rafts. They're like clearly animatronics that whip you across this river. But you can board a raft and go over to this island, and it's a huge island. Like, you go over there's a whole bunch of walking trails. There are these really cool fake mines that you can walk through. There is a quick service restaurant that's over there that I have not seen open ever. Like, every single time I go over there, it's never open.
It's open like 1 month out of the year.
Perfect. There's also like little walk-through attractions other than the mines. There's like a windmill. There's a fucking water mill. It's just really nice. It's a place that you can go to that kids really like aren't excited to go to. And it's mostly just like old people walking around. It's super chill. It's super shaded by a lot of trees. There's like a little fucking, why am I swearing so much? There's like a little fort. What is it called? Fort something.
Mm.
It's like a fake, like, old day fort that you can walk around. There's bathrooms back there. It's just seriously such a chill spot that you can just sit or walk and be away from all of the crowds. Kurt, I don't know if you have anything to add because you have such a boner for it, but go for it.
I mean, I just like my raging boner for this one is just because like nobody knows about it. And like when I was living in New York, we went to Magic Kingdom for like a Magic Kingdom weekend. And like we only went down to Walt Disney World and we went to Magic Kingdom for 2 straight days. And I think it was like the halfway through the second day, I was like, we need to like go somewhere and like leave. And we went on a ride on the Liberty Bell or the boat.
Yeah.
That's over there.
It's Liberty Bell.
Yeah. And when we were on it, I saw that there were like chairs and this like patio thing on Tom Sawyer's Island. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is that? Let's go over there. And so we took the raft over there and we literally sat there, like took off our shoes, put up our feet. Nobody came over by us for the like about like an hour, maybe 45 minutes that we were sitting there by ourselves. Nobody came by us. It was great. It was the best feeling in the world to just like sit down and there was a breeze and we were in the shade and we were in like these huge rocking chairs. It was so nice.
It is so nice. And the mine trails are so fucking cool. Like, I legit did not, I couldn't believe that I didn't know that this existed in Magic Kingdom because there's like, it's whole other little world over there and it's super cool. So
yeah, I think it's also just like nobody wants to go over there because you have to take the boat, or the little raft that goes over there. There's no rides. I feel like nobody really wants to go in that spot because everybody wants to get all the rides done and shit, which like fine, like you do you, but if you want a spot to relax, man, that's it's like the golden spot.
It's the best. Those rocking chairs too, you have a perfect view of Haunted Mansion and I'm pretty sure you can see like the top of the castle as well. So I feel like Tom Sawyer's Island is like my number one out of all the parks. It's just seriously such a great place. So I'm super glad that we all found it. Oh, I don't think Nicole's been there yet, but I'm super glad. Yeah. We'll whip you there.
It's
yeet.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to Hollywood Studios. So Nicole, why don't you tell us about our favorite spot in Hollywood?
Okay, so the Hollywood Studios. Oh my God, did we pick the same one? I'm just now registering that in my brain.
I did too, and one of them was just the lake in general.
Okay,
but go for it.
Heard. Yeah, no, my favorite place because nobody wanders down. You have to like walk down some stairs in order to even like get to this little area, right? Am I like envisioning it right?
There are stairs if you're coming from Galaxy's Edge, and then a lot of people don't want to walk past the restaurants on that whole strip. So it is a little bit of a barrier.
I don't think we're thinking of the same thing. I'm thinking of the dinosaur.
No, that's Nicole. It's on the lake.
Right. Okay. Sorry. I haven't been there in like.
There are no. You are right though. There's like a wheelchair ramp, but you can access the lake. You don't have to. You don't have to go down.
But no, like my spot is like
thinking of the same
down
thing
that way because nobody has a reason to walk down that way because the lake pond thing is accessible. So you are just able to escape the crowds in between Galaxy's Edge and the Little Mermaid area and the Muppets Vision and fucking Main Street. because there's just nobody over there. It's right across from the Indiana Jones show. And yeah, that's Hollywood Studios.
It's a good spot.
I have no idea where you're talking about,
By
but
that
that's
big-ass
okay.
fucking
Okay.
Bronx-
Walk with me.
Yes.
Walk with
Walking.
me. You're on Sunset Boulevard. You just walk in, you see Gauman's Chinese theater,
Hell
right?
yeah.
Okay. Now, before you hit the street that you turn right on to go to Tower of Terror, hang a left, right in front of the Star Wars store. Walk a little bit. You're gonna see Echo Lake. You could pretty much pick anywhere around Echo Lake, but the spot that Nicole's talking to, you have to like go a little bit past the restaurants and like literally get right up on the lake.
Like legitimately the spot that I'm thinking about is right across from the entrance to the Indiana Jones show.
Yeah. Yep. It's yeah. Yeah, but that's a really good spot. Pretty much anywhere other than right in front of that fucking boat quick service.
Honestly.
Dockside diner. That's hell if you eat over there, but literally any other spot around is great.
Yeah.
Okay,
What's next?
let's go ahead. Let's jump over the pond that doesn't exist in the middle of the United States and head over to Disneyland.
Disneyland, I'll just give my like favorite spot because there's a couple, but my favorite spot that I think everybody passes over is shockingly again right up against the rivers of America here at Disneyland. But so it's where the Fantasmic seating is at Disneyland. So Disneyland, we don't have space for an amphitheater for Fantasmic. So they reconstructed I guess just the walkway, and now there's like a 3-level walkway around the rivers of America. So there's like the main path that you walk on to get to like Haunted Mansion. There's a second level for like preferred seating, and then there's like a like floor level, which is basically like right up against the water where all the fast passes go and the like dining fast passes get you for Fantasmic. But because it's off of the main walkway, nobody really ever goes down there. So Nick, if you remember when you came to Disneyland, it's where we filmed that one section of our mountain challenge. It was like right after Splash Mountain. We like went down a couple levels and like set our camera up like on that cement block
Didn't
thing.
we
You
have
know what I'm talking about?
beignets? Weren't
We
we
did.
choking on beignets? Yes.
Yeah, we were inhaling
remember
the powdered sugar from the beignets. So it's like, but like nobody's ever down there, and nobody really walks down there. And if they do, they're speed walking to get around the crowd on the main pathway to get over to Splash Mountain. So they're not really there for that long. And even if I'm just like walking to Galaxy's Edge or Splash Mountain or anything over in that general direction, I will usually always go down to like the pathway that goes right up against the river, just because no one's there. And it's like maybe like a 5-second walk that I don't have to deal with a crowd, because Disneyland pathways are kind of small. So it's nice to kind of get away from there. But you can also just sit on the ground, or there's like the ledge of that second level. If you're on the first level, you can sit on the floor of the second level. There's like a little ledge. Yeah, it's really nice. It's a nice little spot that's not so hidden, but it's right there in the open that people miss it.
Cool.
Nice. Sounds very nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's come back over to Disney World, the land of anxiety. Let's go ahead and I can talk about Animal Kingdom, which is pretty, I mean, it's not that obscure, but most people don't know this, and I'm just going to throw it out there that Animal Kingdom is actually like also a zoo. And I don't think a lot of people realize, like, when you're coming into Animal Kingdom and you're walking through that like weird forested area, or you're like walking the fuck around and you see these like random forested areas with trails, they're literally paths to take you around animal exhibits. And nobody realizes this, and that's why they think Animal Kingdom is a half-day park, because they don't explore it and realize there is that much to do. So the
Lies.
reason Literally. The reason I bring that up is my favorite spot in the whole entire like park, and I think I like this spot better than Tom Sawyer just because it's such a unique spot. Like, I like Tom Sawyer's for what it is, but this spot is so cool and unique. So, okay, you're heading toward Starbucks or Creature Comforts, and you're going to see the big Africa sign. But before you hit that Africa sign, you're going to hang a hard right. And if you walk down a little bit, it will literally seem like you're walking like through like cast member backstage. But keep going. There are actually animal exhibits back there, and it takes you right up underneath the Tree of Life, like literally right underneath it. And it is the coolest spot, and nobody's ever back there. And there are 2 animal exhibits that I always go, and I will just sit by and like watch the animals and like eat and drink coffee, and literally no one comes by. The other part that I like, it's right up against the river that goes around Animal Kingdom. So with the flotillas, with the characters, you're all by yourself and the characters give you all of their attention when they float by. And it is legit the best thing ever.
Nice.
That's my special Animal Kingdom spot. Great. All right, let's close out Walt Disney World. And Nicole, why don't you go ahead and let us know about your special spot in Epcot?
So my special spot in Epcot has 0 name that I can really think of. So bear with me here. I had to re-explain it in a text because I literally used the worst verbiage of it ever. But
she said walkway by future shit where no one ever is. If you are a Disney World person and if you can email us to tell us what you think she's talking about, I will give you a high five.
A virtual one. We're in a panini.
That's true.
No, so it is the walkway by the only way that I can think to describe it is when you're walking into the World Showcase, not like coming in off the Skyliner, but like walking in while you're already in the park, and you hang a left at the like the pathway before. There's like some bathrooms over there. Is it Future World is over there where they talk about like the future of...
It's Future World West at the Epcot Experience.
Yes.
That's that like building.
That building.
Yes.
I mean, don't walk into the one room where they show like everything that's going to be happening with Epcot in the next like 10 years, because that room does get packed. You don't even have to walk in the building, but nobody is ever really crowding that pathway, and it's specifically that pathway. Yeah, that's my if you need to get away from people like quick out. It's in between the showcase and it's in between the rest of Epcot. So it's like your middle ground.
Yeah, it's great. A lot of people just think that building is just extra bathrooms as well. So a lot of people are just like, my kid doesn't have to go. I want to go to a showcase.
Right.
So yeah, good one. All right. So for a bonus, we're going to go ahead and throw in a couple spots in Universal, which like, first of all, if anyone comes at us for giving you guys these spots, like, I don't know, in my head, I literally just, like, could hear someone, like, saying something like, I went to Tom Sawyer's Island and it was packed and it wasn't fun at all. Like, first of all.
Fuck you.
Yes, but also, sorry that happened to you, but also these are just, like, suggestions. This is not us telling you, like, you have to do this. If you have a better spot, like, go to it. But with Universal especially, like, I don't want to guarantee that these spots are ever going to be available, but let's go ahead and talk about them. So, Kurt, why don't you talk to us about Islands of Adventure, which is the newer park at Universal Studios Orlando.
Yeah, shockingly, my favorite spot to go to is in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which is
lol.
Yeah, which is probably the most anxiety-inducing place in that park. But imagine you're walking into the Wizarding World. Okay, you go under the little archway. The train is on your right-hand side. There's a little butterbeer drum station thing on your left, like right past Honeyduke's, and then the 3 broomsticks. You want to walk towards the 3 broomsticks as if you're going to go in the 3 broomsticks, but you don't. You don't. You're going to stop and you're going to take a hard left. There's a little alley, a little back alley back there. And
Shut up.
if you keep walking, it's actually where the cast members go backstage, but it's still themed because you can go back there, and it's themed to be like the backside of Honeyduke's. And there's like a little cute Honeyduke's display in like this little like cubby thing. I don't really know what to call it, but nobody is back there. It was just cast members going in and out, hating their lives. It was great.
It was great.
And Nick and I hung out back there for a little bit and just took some pictures, got some footage, and yeah, it was nice. We were back there for a good 15 minutes and not a single person came by who wasn't a cast member.
Yeah. And honestly, the team members like didn't even look up. They literally could give one fuck what we were doing back there, and they were just like, yeah, whatever, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
So you are allowed to be back there. Because it does not seem like it would be a place you would be allowed, but you are allowed.
No, it definitely is like a back alley that you would go to, like go backstage. But
I definitely didn't think you were going to say that. I definitely thought you were going to say a back alley to go get a blowjob.
oh, wow.
I'm sorry.
Maybe.
You did not seem like you were going to say that. Anyway, yeah. Kurt showed me it. I was like super excited when he brought me back there. Other people were also very excited about Kurt being back there.
Yeah.
But
if you're in Hollywood, Universal Hollywood, I almost just said Hollywood Studios. If you're at Universal Hollywood, it is a carbon copy of the Wizarding World in Orlando. So they have that as well.
That's so great. Wonderful.
Nice.
How about studios, Universal Studios?
So studios, I feel like in general, out of the 2 parks, like I really don't get that stressed out in studios like at all. So yeah, Universal Studios itself, like if you really like the idea of Universal, but like don't want to be as stressed, go to the studio side. Other than Diagon Alley, most of studios is pretty distanced and pretty low crowds. And it's great. But here's a little bonus thing for you guys. So the place that I used in our video around the lake at Universal is not the place I'm going to tell you about, because this place is better and it's going to be a little treat, back alley treat.
Hey, there it is.
For listening to our podcast. So a lot of people don't know that Nocturne Alley exists. And this is a spot also that it is located within the most anxiety-inducing spot, which is Diagon Alley in studios. But it is legit the best spot in both parks, in my opinion.
I love Nocturne Alley so much.
Yes. So if you are in Diagon Alley, walking straight down towards that giant dragon, there's literally going to look like there's this side alley to the left with like no lights on. There's like a bench, but it absolutely looks like it's leading to like an offstage area. If you'd like, you can enter Nocturne Alley right there. I personally like to walk farther up to the ice cream shop, take a left, go all the way down to like the bathroom area, and that's like the official Nocturne Alley entrance. Like, you know, the famous scene in Deathly Hallows where like Bellatrix or Hermione pretending to be Bellatrix is like standing in this like super famous like alleyway that they show multiple times in the movie. That's where it is, and you'll recognize it right away if you're a Potterhead. But head down that little alley, dark way, and literally you're immersed in this little secret quiet area. It is pitch black, but like lit enough to where you can see, I guess, kind of.
I want to say they have black lights on the ceiling too.
Yeah, black
or like
lights
they have
and,
like some kind of like clouds or something. I haven't been there in so long.
yes, there is some sort of lighting, or I think it might be lanterns, like fake lanterns. And then they also have this giant display, like LED, where it like plays like kind of spooky looking videos on it. But Borgin and Burke's is back there, which is a really famous shop in the Harry Potter books, but no one ever goes back there because literally it is pitch black and people think they're just like walking into the void. So especially like kids, like people don't want to walk down there. But I promise you, if you walk down there and go past Borgin and Burke's, there's an even better like little half with nothing on it, and it's got like benches. It has a couple benches. It has like a fake fireplace, and it's got those like really nice lanterns in the dark that you can just sit there and chill out and really, really, really get secluded. So yeah, that's our bonus spot. But that's going to wrap it up for all of our favorite spots. We hope that if you are a theme park lover like us and you've always struggled with kind of finding those spots to maybe try and help calm yourself down or get back to normal, if you can even do that, we hope that this helps because it really has helped us, and we've spent a lot of time actually hunting for these spots and finding these little oases. So yeah, that's going to wrap up this section. So why don't we go ahead and let's take another break, and then we can hop into our therapy session, which is one of your guys's.
Kurt.
Mine. Can't
Kurt's
wait.
therapy session. So yeah, we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Alrighty, welcome back. I'm ready to dive in. So I'm not gonna draw it out because we drew it out last week. So if you listened last week, we murdered Hollywood. I see, there it is again, Hollywood Studios. We murdered Universal Studios in Orlando. I'm gonna take that dead body and put it in a blender, blend it up, ship it over to Hollywood, and then dump it on the ground and talk about that. So as we said earlier, I went to Universal Hollywood this past week for the first time, and I would just like to discuss Universal Studios more in depth on how terrible of a theme park decision they have made in trying to separate themselves from Disney. Like, at least Universal Orlando has lands and has areas and has very designated themed places to be. Universal Hollywood looks like they just took a whole bunch of cement, painted it different colors, and threw it on the side of a hill. And that's Universal Studios Hollywood. The only areas that are themed are the Wizarding World and the Simpsons area. And the Simpsons area is very generous. I'm giving that very generously because it's split by two escalators that take you down the side of a hill to go to other areas of the parks. So it's just very strange. It's just a very weird situation. So they do absolutely nothing to immerse you in the land or in the area of which you are. It's just like, well, here it is. This is, Springfield with Hogwarts in the background. Like, it's absolutely nothing. They don't do anything to hide their show buildings. So when you're standing in the Simpsons area, you can see the show building that is the Hogwarts Forbidden Journey ride. When you're going down the escalators to like the Jurassic area, you just see all of the show buildings. Like the show building for the new Jurassic World ride has a giant dinosaur on the side of it, and it's just a big metal building. Same thing, the Mummy ride, the queue, like you go into the show building. There's like an archway that says the Mummy, and then that's it. The exit of the Mummy, you have to take like the emergency stairway out of it. Like there's not like an exit to it. Same thing with the Transformers ride. You walk up and it's just a giant building. It's very strange. It's just weird. It's just not great. It's not great at all. So that's that. My biggest thing that I want to complain about is I don't understand why Universal has taken the stance of, we're going to put a 3D screen on everything that you go on. We're going to move you around, and we're going to throw water in your face the entire time. There was not one ride that I went on at Universal Hollywood that didn't spray me in the face with water unnecessarily. It's
Oh,
not like
stop.
it added to the ride. It's not like it enhanced my experience. It was. I'm going to talk about two specific situations. One of them, if you haven't been on Jurassic World, if you don't want to hear about it, skip ahead 5 minutes. We're on Jurassic World. One, not worth the hype. Just going to say that right now. Two, it just gets you unnecessarily wet for no reason. And the biggest thing is that there's a huge drop at the end that goes into water. That drop, you don't get wet at all. I was soaked.
Weird.
My pants soaked. My butt from sitting in the seats soaked. Didn't get a single drop of water on me from the drop at all. It's always just from like unnecessary water effects that had nothing to do with the ride. The only thing that had to do with the ride that I got wet from was, like the lizard dinosaurs with like the things around their head that like shoot
Ones?
acid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like they spray you with water, like that was effective. That was cool. That was like I was getting sprayed with acid. Sure, I can go along with that. But if you have in this one part, there were like water cannons going off for no fucking reason at all, and you just get soaked. You get soaked from these water cannons and like geysers that shoot up. There was, the dinosaur with like that weird like duck bill thing that like comes
Oh,
across
I
like
know.
the top of his head.
The Dilophosaurus, or
Sure.
I know we have the same exact thing.
He's playing in the water, looking all
Mhm.
cute. He comes up and he shoots water out of his nostrils. Why? What is the fucking purpose? Like,
I wish I would have been on
that's
that
not
ride
a
with you.
water. That's not a water spitting animal. Like, does he
That
have
you
water
know
in
of.
his lungs that he needs to expel? I don't understand. Do not
Maybe.
understand. Yeah, that was just really annoying. And my second thing is I'm going to mention, which sorry for you guys because it's kind of exciting, but the Universal Studios tour is really cool. Highly recommend it. But they have one section where you pull into this like studio, movie studio, like big building thing. And it's a whole fucking tram like you see in the movies. Like it's like 5 or 6 cars of this tram that you're on. And you pull into this building and it's like 3D screens all around you. And it's for fucking, of all of the fucking, I'm so pissed. All of the Universal movies that you can imagine, like Shrek, come on. That would be great in a 3D like section. What else? E.T. I mean, I hate E.T. He's awful. He's disgusting. He
No,
terrifies me.
It's the best.
But you know what? I would prefer fucking E.T. What do? They whip out a 3D section of fucking Fast and the Furious. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say it had to be Fast and the Furious for you to be this mad.
I was sitting there and I was so upset with what was happening
you were
because
fast and you were furious.
yes, there was 3D all around me, computer digitally animated people. Like they couldn't even use a real actors. They had to digitally create them for this thing. And people were on Priuses with guns, and I was like, what the fuck is what is happening? I don't understand. The fucking what the fuck is that guy's name? Vin Diesel was like hanging on the edge of a helicopter at one point with a gun. I don't understand.
Movies are. That's
Clearly,
all they are.
I am not a car gun action movie person, but is there a reason I had to get wet in that section? Was there anything that had to do with water? No. Was I still getting sprayed? Yes. Why?
It was
because
his
that's
sweat. It was his
Universal's
sweat dripping on your face.
that's Universal's like standpoint of entertainment. It's 3D screens, fucking motion simulators, and water in every single ride. And like I said, if it made the experience that much better, sure. Like if that's going to immerse me and make me feel like his sweat's dripping on me, sure. Gross, but sure. But it wasn't. I was just getting wet for no fucking reason. And it's like, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me because I fucking hate getting wet in like normal clothes. Like if I'm going to get wet, let me put a fucking swimsuit on or something. Like I hate wet denim on my skin. It's like the most uncomfortable feeling. Oh, it's awful. And then, yeah, from the fucking Jurassic Park ride, my ass was wet the entire day.
He had
I was so upset.
ass.
I was so upset. But no, it wasn't even like it was like my tailbone and like my underwear and like my jeans and my shirt. Yep. And it was just right on the spot on the tailbone where it like sits on your pants and then it gets like raw and like chafed. No, it's awful. It's just awful.
It is awful.
And I just don't understand why they can't, instead of spending the money on a fucking 3D Fast and the Furious stupid section, why don't they take that and put it into hiding your goddamn show buildings? I don't understand.
I don't know. That's so fucking weird to me.
Like at least Universal Orlando, like I said, like you have Seuss Land, you have the weird fucking Atlantis bullshit, you have, you know, other like Jurassic Park has like a designated area, and in like even studios, you know, it's meant to look like
very themed.
Yeah, it's meant to look like you're on a set of like a movie studio lot where it's just like those giant buildings and everything. Like at least the giant buildings have a purpose and like that's what they're there for. At Hollywood, they're just there. They're just like, well, that's what it is.
That sucks.
Okay. And when my favorite part was going through the greenhouse of Hogwarts through the line, and you just see like the smog of LA skyline in the background, and like
gorgeous.
It's great.
The best.
I know you sent me that picture, and I was like, "Oh, that's nice."
Yeah,
that's lovely.
You know, I'm gonna post that up on our Instagram, and I'm just gonna let everybody see what I saw, because it was just not a great time. But you know what? That probably explains why an annual pass is only $250.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Mm-hmm.
I will agree with you that personally, I feel like, here we go. This is just another fucking Universal Studios just bashing session.
I mean, maybe they shouldn't suck.
But it's like the
not
quality.
Our fault.
It's not our fault. The quality of the rides, like, if any of you have gone to Universal like 10 years ago, like the Jaws ride was all about actually immersing you like what it would feel like to be on a set. The Twister ride, although some people, it was my favorite ride.
I fucking loved that ride.
It was immersing you like of what a set would look like. And now Universal, everything is screened. Everything. Right. It's a 4D screen. Spider-Man, you get fucking jizzed on with water in that one with the 4D screens.
Are we surprised? No.
No, it's like where's the effort, y'all? Like,
but yeah, and that's what, you know, we were talking about, that the rides that we did love, like the entire backlot tour was like you actually went on the backlot of Universal Studios and you could see like the sets, and they like did this whole like flooding scene, which also, super fun fact, was where Lady Gaga filmed most of her Judas music video, which was really cool. Yeah, I loved that. But it's just like those parts were really cool, and I loved that. Like I would have loved to see more of like, oh, this is how making a movie works. This is like, you know, different scenes, and they did that on the backlot tour. But then they also did like these 3D motion simulator water things again, and it's like I don't understand why you have to rely on that. Like I would rather see giant movie props and, you know, things that they still have at the backlot tour. That they have just gotten rid of in the parks, and it's just sad.
It is sad. Money has ruined the world because it's so much cheaper to throw a screen up than to have to fucking hoist Bruce up. If you don't know who Bruce is, he's the shark in Jaws, and you know, put you on a boat and scare the shit out of you with Bruce. So.
Yeah.
Is he actually Bruce?
Yeah, that's what, I don't know if that's his real name in Jaws, but that's what the props name is in Universal.
Huh. I was like, hello, my name is Bruce.
Why did you just honk?
Me?
Nicole, that's all you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, I went, huh.
I just imagine the goose. Or the duck. Yeah, anyways, sorry. That's my I'm not going to apologize, but that's my therapy session. I just,
Nice.
went to Universal Studios Hollywood hoping to see more Hollywood and I left very disappointed. And I just hate that they rely so much on screens and water, and it's just not great. But again, maybe that's why it's only $250 for an annual pass.
You got that right. Well, that sucks. Sorry, Universal. Clearly, we're never going to be, advocate. I mean, we might be advocates for you, but you're never going to pay us to be advocates for you. Clearly.
we're obviously never going to get picked up to sponsor Universal Studios.
Yeah. Well,
which honestly at this point is probably like our only bet.
What, getting them sponsoring us?
Yeah, because Disney's never going to.
No. Disney doesn't give a shit.
All right, yes. On that note, let's head on to our...
I was like, any more bashing thoughts?
Let's head on to... I mean, I could bash on Universal all night. But let's head into our coping session. Nicole.
Hi, so I'm going to
What are you going to help us cope with?
Hi, so I'm going to round it out with this whole anxiety episode. I know that we have done a coping session and a therapy session on mental health in the park and anxiety in the park, but I specifically would like to talk about what if you can't access one of those fucking spots and you have a full-blown fucking panic attack, anxiety attack, just out in the open, because that's happened to me multiple times. I'm sure it's happened to all of us.
So how do we cope with that?
How do we cope with that?
What can we do?
I mean, I also want to give a high five shout out to the cast members because one specific time I collapsed in the bus station because of an anxiety panic attack / panic attack. I physically collapsed to the ground and 2 security members came over and they were like, Are you good? And I got a free sticker and a free water bottle out of it. So a bottle of water, rather. And they just they made sure that I was okay before they walked away, kind of thing. I don't know.
They definitely wanted to roll Nicole's body off of the walkway because people were staring, and you know how Disney is.
They wanted
people to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Nicole, you fucking raking it in with the free Disney shit.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Hell yeah. No, and another one of those, I mean, you don't rely on cast members to adhere to any mental health that does come about, but the ones that will respond are phenomenal, I guess. But no, specifically when I was talking about Festival of the Lion King, leaving pre-Panini shows, right? Pre-pandemic shows, you just flood from the theater. And that set crowds set my fucking anxiety to level 1,000. And I think because I've never gone and seen a show by myself, but it's easier to navigate when you're with a group. So my tactic for leaving a crowded area is I'm not the one in charge. So I'm a grabber. I'll grab backpacks, I'll grab shirts, I'll grab arms, as long as I'm with my group, I'm okay, and I'm very reliant in that aspect. So it's going to be a nice short, sweet coping session unless you guys have things to add to it.
I mean, I think you hit it with the first one. It's cast members are there to help you, and they're trained if you're in a crisis to get proper medical staff to you, because after the security guards came to check on Nicole, they asked Nicole and she really wasn't able to give them a good answer. So they turned to me and they were like, is she physically okay? Should we call an EMT? And she just needed a minute to get out of it. So we didn't need an EMT, but like cast members are trained very well to like know how to deal with situations. So yeah, Nicole is right though. Like cast members don't have to like do shit for you. So like remember, if you're having anxiety and being a dick, like no cast member has to be like, oh, it's fine, they have anxiety. But like if you're having a legit panic attack where like you may actually need medical attention, like just find someone. Or if you can't find someone, just collapse in the middle of the road and someone will find you.
And you might get some free shit out of it. So
yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add. Luckily, all of my panic attacks have happened outside of a theme park. So I luckily don't have anything to add to this.
cool.
I can tell you, don't have a panic attack at the sci-fi diner and sit there and just have tears strolling down your face. Because
Yeah, they
they'll
will
ignore
treat you like you're a normal paying customer and still ask you what food you're ordering when you can't even speak straight. So.
I mean, just restaurants in general. I remember I had a panic attack at a restaurant once, and like it took all of my energy to get up and go to the bathroom to try to just like sit by myself and like try to make myself throw up, because like that's like how I get on my panic attack, because it's very symptomatic for me. But yeah, and it's just one of the hardest things to like get up. Also just like social anxiety, right? Like it's when you're having a panic attack, like a true debilitating panic attack, like it's so hard to be like, do I make a scene and get up and go to the bathroom and like try to fix it, or do I sit here and just try to like stifle my symptoms and not draw attention to it? And then that adds to the panic attack, and just goes and goes and goes,
and then you end up on the ground in the Hollywood Studios bus station.
Yeah, I would rather end up on the ground in a bathroom trying to make myself throw up.
Heard.
Fair.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Yikes. All right. Great coping session.
Love it.
Hopefully we helped a little bit on that. But that's going to wrap up this week's episode. We still have our Etsy shop going with our AAPI Heritage Month stickers. Those are on sale. We only have a few left, so make sure you head over there to our Etsy shop, Foreverland Fairy Tales. Nope. That's not what it's called. The Fairy Tales Shop, 2 P's and an E. And yeah, head over to our YouTube channel. Check us out there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We release videos every Monday. We release our podcast videos every Friday. And I believe that's everything.
No.
Okay.
We're still looking for cast members.
Oh, we are. Yes. We would love cast members to reach out to us for our cast member call outs on our therapy session.
We have some, you guys, we're so excited. They're actually going to start soon. We actually have people. We're so freaking excited to start our cast member, cast member episodes. I don't know what to call them. Our cast member, fuck, am I dying? We're so
probably
excited to start our cast member therapy sessions. So look out for those. They're coming. We should have another Disney true crime. I literally can't fucking talk. We should have another Disney true crime podcast coming out in the next maybe month. So a lot of exciting stuff is coming. We're so freaking excited, you guys.
Hell
yeah, and make sure you subscribe to our podcast on whatever platform you're listening on. Follow us, subscribe. It really, really helps us out. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave a review on what you guys think of the podcast, because that also really helps us out. And we would love your feedback.
Hex yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, like we said in the beginning, I'm Kurt.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Nicole.
We are magically unstable all day, every day, and we will talk to you guys next week.
I've got no strings to hold me back.
Oh, no.
Me down, let me back. We should trap Max that.
Okay, goodbye.